Have you ever woken up with that heavy feeling in your chest, as if you were carrying the world in the early hours of the morning? Like something is out of place, and you can't find peace to start the day. If this feeling accompanies you, then this moment is for you. Because today, with an open heart and full of faith, let's begin together a morning prayer based on the powerful Psalm 91, a divine promise of protection, refuge, and presence. This prayer is not just a repetition of words, it is a real encounter with God upon awakening. If you are here now, perhaps you are looking for something beyond answers. Perhaps you are looking for acceptance, a sign that you are not alone, a presence that embraces you even in silence. And Psalm 91 is exactly about that, about finding rest in the shadow of the Almighty even on stormy days. You know those moments when your heart is racing and your mind is restless, when insecurity appears early on, without warning. That's where this morning prayer becomes a true spiritual shield, capable of transforming the atmosphere of your day. Stay with me until the end of this video, because what you discover now may surprise you. We go far beyond a simple prayer. Let's talk about refuge. Let's talk about faith, trust, comfort for those who wake up in fear or sadness. Let's talk about blessings that begin at the exact moment you decide to hand your day over to God. And all this based on the promises found in Psalm 91, one of the most powerful and comforting texts in the Holy Scriptures. Have you ever been through this? To open your eyes and feel as if you need strength that doesn't come from coffee, nor from a busy schedule, nor from the day's plans, but from something bigger, invisible and strong, something that only the presence of God can offer. If so, know that you are in the right place. It's no coincidence that you found this video just now. There is a purpose in this, and He knows exactly what you need to hear. Each verse of this psalm is like a divine hug, a reminder that you are guarded, even when everything around you seems uncertain, that there are angels around you, even if you don't see them, that there is a safe hiding place where no harm can touch you. And that's why, when you start your day with this prayer, something inside you changes. Your mind calms, your spirit lifts, and your heart finds peace. So, take a deep breath. Silence for a few seconds. This moment is yours. You are about to connect with a prayer that could change the way you live the next few hours. And more than that, it can change how you face the invisible battles that the day brings. God brought you here for a reason, and He wants to remind you that no matter what is happening outside, those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High rest in the shadow of the Almighty. And now that your heart has begun to align with this divine presence, it's time to take the next step. And while you prepare for this prayer, I want to give you a simple invitation, but one that can strengthen this moment even more. If something you've heard so far has touched your heart, if in some way this message made sense to you, share it with me in the comments. Sometimes a simple sentence you write there can comfort someone else who is going through something similar. This space is more than a channel. It is a community of faith, where each word shared has the power to heal, support, and inspire. And if you felt peace at the beginning, if this atmosphere of divine presence surrounded you in some way, leave your like now. This helps to spread this prayer to more people who perhaps need this word today. It's something so small for you, but it makes a huge difference for those on the other side, looking for comfort, protection, and direction. And of course, if you believe you need more moments like this in your routine, if you want to continue receiving prayers and messages that feed the soul and strengthen your walk with God, subscribe here to the channel. When you do this, it shows that you are with us on this journey, and that gives me strength to continue producing every detail with care, prayer, and dedication. Your participation here is what makes all of this possible. It's what gives meaning to each video, each word. Therefore, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, because this is also part of your prayer. And now that your heart is opening more and more to this presence, it's time to dive with faith into what comes next. When we wake up, with our thoughts still confused and our bodies trying to adjust to the reality of the new day, everything that happens in the first few hours has a direct impact on how we will face what lies ahead. It is at this exact moment, before picking up your cell phone, before worrying about tasks and responsibilities, that morning prayer reveals itself as a turning point. Because it's not just a religious ritual, it's a conscious choice to put the soul at the center before the world starts demanding too much. Praying in the morning is like adjusting the rudder before the storm. This is when you decide that no matter what lies ahead, your mind and heart will be aligned with something bigger, deeper, and more stable. It's a chance to remember that we are not alone on this journey, and when you declare this in faith, upon awakening, something changes, inside and out. Anxiety loses strength, fears lose voice, and clarity begins to take the place of confusion. This simple decision to surrender the first minutes of the day to the presence of God is more powerful than it seems, because it shapes your mindset. And when the mindset changes, decisions change. And when decisions change, life starts to change too. It's like opening a window early in the morning and letting the light in. Suddenly, what was heavy becomes bearable. What was uncertain begins to fall into place, and what once seemed like chaos begins to silently reorganize itself. Within you, there is a hidden truth that many ignore. The state in which you start your day defines the type of energy you will carry throughout it. And prayer is that secret, intimate moment where you redefine your vibration, your focus, your center. It's as if you said, God, first of all, I choose to connect with you. And this choice has a domino effect, capable of transforming even the most invisible behind the scenes of your routine. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because there is something even stronger hidden in this practice of starting the day with prayer, something that goes beyond emotional comfort and directly touches the way you live, feel, and react. Comment there. That makes sense to me. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject, because there is something about Psalm 91 that many people still don't understand. It is not just a beautiful prayer to recite in difficult times. It carries a spiritual structure that spans generations. Since ancient times, this psalm has been used as a true shield, a declaration of faith in the face of life's visible and invisible threats. There is a hidden truth here that few see. Each verse is designed to remind you that, even in chaos, there is a safe place where the soul finds rest. When we say, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High," we are not just repeating a catchphrase. We are activating a choice. We are consciously saying, I will not face the world alone. I choose to walk with God. And this simple change of mentality has a huge impact on the way we deal with problems, pressures, the silent behind the scenes of our inner lives. Because Psalm 91 is not a promise of absence of struggle. It is the revelation that there is protection even in the midst of war. How many times have you felt exposed without direction, as if you had nowhere to hide emotionally? This is where this prayer comes in as an anchor, not to distance you from the world, but to position you. Spiritually, emotionally, energetically, there is something almost invisible about this psalm, but it changes everything. It reminds you who is in control. It brings to light a strength that does not come from you, but that dwells within you when you connect with the Most High. And this is not mystical nor distant. It's real, it's practical, it's transformative. There are people who have gone through difficult nights holding on to this psalm as their last hope. There are people who have faced diagnoses, losses, deep fears, and found relief just by repeating these words in a low voice. This is no coincidence. This is purpose. It is faith that manifests itself as refuge. Write it in the comments. I'm on this journey too. Imagine God as a safe shelter against everything. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because when we read that first verse, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty," is not just listening to a beautiful biblical phrase. You are being asked to make a silent but powerful decision. Dwelling in the hiding place of the Most High is not a poetic idea. It is a posture. It is a soul positioning. It means living with the awareness that there is a place within you where peace cannot be stolen, an intimate, protected space where the presence of God covers your weaknesses and calms your fears. It's amazing how, over the years, we accumulate worries, pressures, obligations, and little by little we move away from this internal shelter. Many people feel alone, even surrounded by people, because they have lost access to this place of spiritual security. But the hiding place of the Most High is still there. Always has been, it always will be. What changes is our willingness to return to that place. And when you come back, something changes. The rush loses control, the mind slows down, and the soul aligns with the source. Think about it. How many wrong decisions are born from an agitated heart, a racing mind, a disconnected spirit? When you position yourself in this secret place with God, you begin to see things with different eyes. It's a silent but profound transformation. You stop reacting on impulse and start responding wisely. You stop fighting alone and begin to realize that you are being supported by something bigger than yourself. This shelter is not theoretical, it is practical. It reveals itself behind the scenes of your day, in conversations, in choices, even in the way you deal with unexpected events. And that's why this first verse of Psalm 91 has enough power to change the course of an entire day, because it reminds you where your soul truly belongs. It repositions you, and more than that, He protects you. Comment there, I want to live in this shelter. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic, because when Psalm 91 talks about resting in the shadow of the Almighty, it's not just offering momentary comfort, it's giving us a spiritual key to dealing with one of this generation's greatest challenges, fear of the future. And let's be honest, who has never felt that tightness in their chest when thinking about what's to come? Sometimes it's not even what's happening now that weighs most, but what the mind imagines could happen. The uncertainty, the negative possibilities, the what if that lingers, keeps you awake and stops decisions. It is at this point that this prayer becomes a living tool, something that goes beyond faith, and goes directly into the transformation of mentality. Because when you choose to trust the promises that are there, something changes inside you. It's not that problems disappear, it's that fear loses its power. Psalm 91 declares that 1,000 will fall at your side and 10,000 at your right, but you will not be struck. This phrase, said with faith, becomes a shield for the heart. It's as if you are reaffirming to yourself every day, I am protected even when I don't understand everything. This assurance is not spiritual arrogance, it's emotional maturity. It's knowing that no matter what comes tomorrow, you won't face it alone, that there is a presence that goes ahead, that guards you, that covers you. And when you position yourself in this truth, even your decisions change. You stop acting out of fear and start acting out of trust. The steps become firmer, the look clearer, the heart lighter. The anxiety that was paralyzing is losing space to the certainty that there is an invisible hand guiding your journey. And even if life sometimes seems unstable, this psalm reminds you of something that never changes: God's care. He didn't abandon you. He was not distracted by other things. He sees what you feel, understands what you think, and remains by your side, even on the days when you doubt. Write it in the comments. God, take care of my future. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because it's one thing to hear about spiritual promises, it's another completely different thing to see these promises being fulfilled in practice. There are stories that don't make it into the newspapers or gain prominence on social media, but that carry a silent force capable of renewing anyone's faith. And when we talk about Psalm 91, it is impossible to ignore the number of testimonies that emerge around this text. These are simple but striking accounts of people who, in their moment of greatest despair, found deliverance where everything seemed lost. I'll tell you one of these stories. A woman was walking home late at night alone. She felt scared, her heart was racing, a strange sensation in the air. As he walked, he began to repeat verses from Psalm 91 in his mind. It was not a rehearsed prayer. It was a sincere request for protection, an intimate conversation with God, there in the middle of the empty street. A few minutes later, she noticed that a man had changed direction and appeared to be following her. But suddenly he stopped, looked at her for a few seconds, and crossed to the other side of the sidewalk, as if he had seen something that scared him. She walked home peacefully, without really understanding what happened, but with the certainty that she was not alone. And that's the point. It's not possible to explain everything logically. There are moments when God's presence manifests itself in such a discreet and, at the same time, so powerful way that we can only be grateful. The hidden truth behind these experiences is that faith activates protection. When you confidently declare that you are protected by the promises of this psalm, something changes behind the scenes in your reality. There is a real impact, albeit invisible. It is no exaggeration to say that lives have been spared, accidents avoided, bad decisions prevented, all because of a simple prayer made in faith. These testimonies are no exception. They are reminders that the word works, that the spiritual and the everyday are more connected than it seems. Comment there, I believe in God's protection. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject because there is an excerpt from Psalm 91 that, if you pay attention, reveals one of the most comforting promises of the entire spiritual journey. For he will command his angels concerning you to keep you in all your ways. This is not a symbolic phrase. It's a clear revelation that there is a movement happening behind the scenes in your life, even when your eyes don't see anything. And that, in itself, completely changes the way you walk through life. Think about it with me. How many times have you been about to make a wrong decision and for some reason something stopped you? How many times have you avoided a place, a person, or a situation and only later realized that you were spared something bigger? There are answers that do not come by logic. They come by faith. And this verse reminds us that when we trust God, we are not alone. There is an invisible force accompanying us, a spiritual network of protection that goes far beyond our understanding. The presence of angels around is not a pretty fantasy. It is a spiritual reality that many have experienced without even knowing it. There are people who call it luck, intuition, coincidence. But those who live by faith understand that this has another name: divine care. Angels are sent as messengers, as protectors, as silent support in moments when we feel most vulnerable. And this awareness changes everything. It brings a different peace because you begin to understand that you don't need to control everything. You just need to trust. It's as if God said, "You focus on seeking me, and I will take care of what you cannot see." This takes a huge weight off your shoulders because from the moment you surrender and believe, anxiety loses space, fear becomes silent, and confidence begins to grow inside. Write it in the comments. I believe that God sends his angels for me. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, and because it's not enough to just understand with the mind, you have to feel with the soul. And it is at this point that prayer comes in as a living bridge between what we believe and what we live. When you pray sincerely, you are not just speaking words into the air. You are positioning yourself before God, opening your heart and saying, "I choose to trust, even if I don't understand everything." And it is in this silent surrender that faith takes shape. So now I want you to pray with me. No matter where you are, just close your eyes for a few seconds and repeat mentally, letting each word sink into your spirit. Lord, on this new day, I choose to trust you. I hide in your presence. Cover me with your wings and send your angels around me. I don't know what this day will bring, but I know who sustains me. May all anxiety now melt away. May every worry lose its strength. May your peace take over my mind and my heart. I declare that no harm will come to me. No arrow will bring me down. For I dwell in your hiding place, and under your promises I rest. Guide my steps, directs my decisions. Keep me away from everything that doesn't come from you, even if I still can't see it. Free me from deceptions, distractions, and traps hidden along the way. Teach me to hear your voice even in silence. May I have the sensitivity to perceive the signs and courage to follow your path even when it seems different from my plans. Place your hand on my life, on my home, on who I love. May your presence be visible in every detail of my day, and may I end this day with a light heart, knowing that I was guided and protected by you at every moment. Amen. Comment there. This prayer spoke to me. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because after a prayer like this, there is no way the day will continue the same way. Something inside us changes, the atmosphere changes, and it's not just a passing emotion, it's the presence of God touching areas that we didn't even know needed healing. When you start the day like this, giving everything with faith and sincerity, it's as if you are building an invisible shield around yourself. Nothing enters without permission. Nothing shakes you easily, because now you are no longer carrying the burden alone. And that is why I declare with all conviction that your day will be blessed. May the peace that comes from God, the one that the world cannot give, invade your mind and your feelings. May health touch your body, and may you notice signs of care even in small details. May with each step you feel direction, and let no distractions take you away from your purpose. May you have sensitive eyes to notice what needs to be avoided, and courage to embrace what God is bringing. May no negative words take root in you today. May everything that tries to steal your energy, your enthusiasm, your joy, lose its strength before it even gets close. You are under a promise. It's covered by a word that already keeps you, even when you don't realize it. And this simple act of stopping to pray, of trusting, of declaring these truths, has done more for your journey than you can imagine. You are not walking on your own. There is a hand supporting you, even when everything seems unstable. And even if noises arise around you, within you there is a place of silence and certainty. Come back to it whenever you need to. This is the strength of those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Comment there. I receive these blessings today. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because what we experience here is not just another video, nor just another prayer. It is a real meeting between hearts that believe that faith can transform the way we go through our days. And if you felt something different while listening to each word, if this prayer touched parts of you that perhaps you didn't even know needed to be touched, this is a sign that God is acting, even in silence. Sometimes all the heart needs is a gentle reminder that He is still here, attentive, present, taking care of every detail, even when everything seems out of place. And that's why your presence here matters so much. Because when you comment, when you participate, you are not just reacting to content. You are part of something bigger. You are allowing this message to spread and reach other people who, like you, may be in need of comfort, direction, or just a word to remind them where strength comes from. It's this exchange, this feeling that we walk together, that makes all of this have value. There is no performance here, there is delivery. It's true. There's a journey. So, if this prayer spoke to you, write it in the comments. I choose to trust God today. Because this phrase carries more than words. It declares to the world and to yourself that, despite everything, your faith remains alive. And that inspires, that moves, that strengthens what we are building here with so much intention. And if you came this far with me, with an open heart, breathing lighter and feeling that this message embraced you in some way, then this moment was really for you. We built a real connection, and that's what motivates me to continue bringing content like this, with intention, with truth, with faith. If you felt this too, subscribe to the channel to follow along in the next videos. There will always be space here to renew your mind and strengthen your spirit, and to let me know that you stayed with me. Until the end, comment below, this message was for me. I read everything with affection, and every word you leave here makes this chain of faith and hope strengthen even more. Oh, and if this video brought you peace, leave a like. This helps keep this content alive, reaching those who also need a touch from God on their day. There's a video here that complements everything we talked about. Click and stay with me there. Your journey of faith is just beginning.